Okay, we're going to see some changes in government housing policy. Why do I say this? Because it's now become inevitable that Prime Minister Trudeau will quit, step down, whatever. He will no longer be the Prime Minister. Now, it's not 100%, but it's probably 95% sure that he's not going to stay. He's not going to stay beyond the end of this year. So what leads me to say this? All right, let me give you some simple reasons. And why does it affect housing policy? Because a change in the top leadership means changes in the policy that drives elections in this country. And let's face it, nobody is more concerned than Canadians about housing and affordability. Like, it just dominates every thought of everybody everywhere. So it's the key to the next election. So that's why housing policy will be affected by a change in leadership at the top. Okay, why do we know? What are the reasons? Simple. The big by-election in the Liberal stronghold of Toronto St. Paul's, complete fiasco, lost to the Conservatives, and that's a seat that was held for 9 elections. I mean, it's as red a seat as you could possibly get. Gone. Even the leader of the Conservatives didn't think they were going to win because he never actually went to the riding once. He never promoted the candidate once to any great extent, maybe a video or two. But it wasn't. They had like the whole cabinet from the Liberal government went down to that riding and tried to push that riding. So that's a big, serious loss. And what is it? What else? What else? Okay, so the lifelong friend of Justin Trudeau is Dominic LeBlanc. He's the Minister of, Democracy, Public Safety, a whole bunch of other stuff. They're all ministers, all have long titles now. But lifelong friend. So literally since he babysat Justin Trudeau as a teen, okay? So honest to God, close friend. He gets permission from the Prime Minister to quietly start a campaign to replace the leader because, he's not going to stay forever. So obviously, a guy who's your dearest friend doesn't just decide to go rogue and do it on his own. So he obviously had some kind of permission. Finally, there's something in politics called locked-in negatives. Like locked-in negatives, if you're with if you're in government for a very, very long time, like 10 years, we're approaching 10 years, then there's a chance that people can just absolutely obsess on you and dislike you and find you are the negative in politics. Like, seriously, there's a story in Toronto that, people are driving down the Gardiner, and which is terrible, worst thing in the world, but they're driving down the highway in Toronto, and all of a sudden out of nowhere it starts raining, and the guy looks up at his rain, and he thinks, fuck Trudeau, he did this. Okay, so honestly, there's a point where you're getting blamed for everything, even things that don't make sense. That's called locked-in negatives. I'll give you a simple example. There's been a ton of polling done on this, like accurate, thorough polling and studies done on this. And if Trudeau were to leave office now and be replaced by anybody, the Liberal Party voting intention goes up 14%. With anybody who's not Justin Trudeau. So the party knows this, the caucus knows this, all the members of parliament know this, the cabinet knows this, and Justin Trudeau knows this. He knows this. As much as people like to think Justin Trudeau, and way too many people do, because there's too many personal attacks. As long as people think Justin Trudeau is stupid, he's not. He's a very smart man. Bad policies. I don't agree with the policies, but he's a smart man, and he knows it's over. So he picks his own time to leave. So why am I talking about politics if I'm in the mortgage and housing game? Because that signals the chance of big change. Because either a new leader goes through a leadership convention, a new leader is picked, there's a new prime minister in the next 6 months or a year, and that person is suddenly going to want to jump in, and they might call, I don't know who it is, no idea. They might call a snap election, in which case everything could change if another party comes in. And they could just say, well, I'm gonna come out with some unbelievable changes. I mean, and because the federal government controls a lot. They control all the banking regulations. They control CMHC, which has got so much to do with housing in Canada. Everybody pretends they don't have any say at the Bank of Canada, but I got a feeling there might be a phone call here and there. Look, they have a lot of impact. The federal government can have a lot of impact on housing. There's no question. They have in the past. They've done tons of things over the years. Tons. I mean, people don't realize it, but at one time, the federal government was responsible for the building of incredible numbers of rental properties all across Canada. And that all came to an end in the 1990s. So there is a big opportunity for change. There's a big chance that anybody who gets in will try to create massive change in policies. So this is what it's got to do with housing. The inevitability of Justin Trudeau leaving office has the potential to make big changes in housing policy. Where it goes, I don't know. But I think that it's on the horizon.